invest in penny stocks and you recently looked at your portfolio and it made you feel like this? Well, stick around because you're not the only one out there. What's up, YouTube? I'm Cullum Costello, and in today's video, I'd like to talk to you about market makers and how they can control or manipulate stocks. We'll look at a list of dirty market makers that you may not want on your ticker, and we'll check out some examples of penny stocks that we've discussed previously on the channel. Please keep in mind that the stock market, and especially penny stocks, are very risky, so don't invest any money that you're not willing to lose, and as always, do your own research. Now let's get into the video. Traders often catch a story, rumor, news, or filings about a company and will rush over to their trading screens to place an order. Level 2 can be one of the most valuable tools a trader can have, but like any tool in a tool chest, not understanding how it works can sometimes turn what was thought to be a good idea into a quick buck for someone using dirty market makers. While the role these guys play on OTC, BB, and Pink Sheets listed stocks is huge, who they are and how they work is critical knowledge in the quest to know what you're up against when trying to make a couple of bucks. Alright you guys, next we're going to look at why market makers are important. There are some good market makers out there which simply provide buy and sell orders and keep the market moving. There's also what's known as dirty market makers, and we got a list of those coming up, so you're going to want to stick around and make sure you don't have any of those on your ticker, unless you're willing to wait a little bit longer for your return on investment. First, if you haven't already, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button down below. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. We're a young channel and we're trying to grow. It'll help this video get out to other investors. Why are market makers important? Like it or not, your fate is in the hands of market makers since they essentially control the stock market. Your order to buy or sell a stock on the OTC markets will usually pass through one of the more trusted sources like Knight, ATDF, ETRF, and ARCA. Seeing a level 2 screen which only has these on it is what is referred to as a clean level 2, one with no dirty hands on it. Typically these 4 are there to do what market makers are supposed to do, which is simply fill buy and sell orders without attempting to manipulate the behavior pattern of a particular stock.
Like, let a minute be clean.
When I see these 4 market makers on a level 2 screen, usually, I'll investigate the orders that have recently gone through to see if there were sells or buys in an effort to gauge the psychology of those involved already with the stock. Since there is a high probability these trades are being done by traders and not the market makers until given some reason to see otherwise, it gives some clear insight as to an expected direction or momentum for stock on a given day. Alright you guys, this next list we're going to look at is very important. I want you to pay attention to this and check out these market maker IDs and then check out your level 2 if it's available and see if any of these market makers are on your ticker. These market makers are what's known as short sellers or manipulators, and they can really hold down a stock in the OTC market. First, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. It's free and all you're going to do is learn about more ways to make money. Here's a list of market makers that you may want to watch out for when investing in an OTC market stock. To find out if any of these market makers are on your ticker, you simply have to have level 2 quotes and you go there and look under MMID or market maker ID, and this will tell you if any of these market makers are involved with your stock. This is a list of heavy short sellers and market manipulators, so please take some time, rewind if you have to, or take a screenshot and go over this list. Then look at your level 2 and see if any of these market makers are involved with your ticker. Next, we're going to look at some of the tactics these dirty market makers use to scare you into selling them your shares for cheap or just bore the retail investor to death until they just look elsewhere for some excitement. Please keep in mind you guys can always leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you don't have level 2 and you want me to check up on one of your tickers to see if these market makers may be there, or just say what's up. I love hearing from each and every one of you, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Of all those listed, Puma is one which can make you pull your hair out more often than not. A lot of times you will see Puma on the high bid and rarely, if ever, on the ask. Then, there are times where you will see Puma boxed in on the high bid and the high ask, with a wide enough spread to scalp the in-between as well as scare investors into selling to them on the bid.
It's not fair! Fair!
What Puma will be looking to accomplish is one of two things, either accumulating ahead of an anticipated public event or a short covering before a possible move to the upside. Either way, this battle can last weeks and makes seeing them atop the bid or ask of a ticker one you will only want to enter if it's understood you could be there for a while. After we look at a few more brief notes about these market makers and how they work to manipulate your stock, we're going to check out a couple penny stocks that we've talked about a lot on this channel, and we'll also look at one that we've not yet mentioned on the channel. We'll look at the level 2, and we'll see some of the market makers that are involved in these tickers, so stick around you guys, don't leave yet. The list above is based on order of recent activity, with AEXG being the most active in transactions and CRTC the least active. The three C's, Citadel Securities, CDEL, Canaccord Genuity, CSTI, and Cantor Fitzgerald, CANT, are almost always on a ticker together with the four more trusted sources mentioned above. While these three C's are rarely toxic diluters, they can be heavy short sellers at times, taking advantage of a good thing which is part of the game. Of the highlighted ones listed towards the top of the table, what you will experience most always when trying to battle with them is that when these diluting market makers appear, they will usually show 10,000 shares for trade. Countless ask slaps at that 10,000 do nothing, as the count remains 10,000 due to a very deep well of securities to sell. Others listed lower, like WDCO, STXG, and GLED, are brokerage houses which will take share certificates and clear them for low-level toxic diluters, those who cut a deal with a company to buy some shares on the cheap. If you're looking for a great platform to trade OTC or penny stocks on that also has great level 2, I use E-Trade. It's a personal preference, and I'll leave a link in the description down below if you're interested. Now let's take a look at one last excerpt about market makers, and then we'll get into some penny stocks that we've recently discussed on the channel. Contrary to popular opinion, market makers don't really have a license to print money like many try to insinuate. They get their $1 million fines every other year from the SEC for jumping bids, although they are required to buy and sell at bid and ask prices. Despite having the ability to hedge by short selling and swap agreements, which comes across the screen as T-trades or show average after it, both of which many individual investors see as market manipulation. They create the market for the little or no trading volume stocks. Here we're looking at ticker symbol CYBL or Cyberlux Corporation stock. Cyberlux Corporation recently announced a cancellation of 700 million phantom shares to their share structure. This resulted in a quick increase in share price to over 2 cents, but was chopped back down by the market makers, as you can see, now trading at just over a penny. In the long term, I do believe CYBL stock is a good investment, but you have to keep in mind that with these market makers on the ticker, it could be held down for a little while. On the other hand, if you're bullish on CYBL in the long term, you can look at this as the market's giving you discounts right now and take advantage of the discounts in share price and hold for the long term. Now let's check out what's going on with FERN Corporation stock, or ticker symbol FERN. FERN stock ripped all the way up to over 6 cents before being chopped down to where we're seeing it trade now, which is under a penny at 0.0089. If you're long term on FERN stock, this could be a huge buying opportunity. Please take note of the market makers that are on this ticker though. What we're looking at here is GTSM, which is an international institution, wash trading back and forth. We're also seeing Citadel hold this down, and at the bottom there we see Ascendant, or ASCM, which is known as a dirty market maker. If you're a buyer of FERN stock and you've used your money that you can afford to lose, or you have time to wait, and you invest in time and not money, I believe this could be an opportunity to invest for FERN stock in the long term. Here we're looking at BWVI, or Blue Water Ventures International Incorporated stock. Blue Water Ventures International, or BWVI stock, has recently seen some attention on their acquisition of Psychoceutical. This was very exciting news, but can it sustain? Well, let's take a look at some of the market makers on this ticker. Real quick, when I look at level 2, one name that stands out is Puma. As we saw earlier, this one can make you pull your hair out. Also, at the bottom of the bid price, I see Alps, which can also be a dirty market maker if we revert back to our list earlier on in the video. Alright you guys, I want to thank you so much if you stayed to the end of the video. I hope this helped you learn a little bit about market makers and how they can manipulate the OTC market. Don't give them your shares. Now do me a favor. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of the OTC market right now. Let me know what stocks you're in. Let me know if you need a look at level 2 or just say what's up. I love hearing from each and every one of you, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Until next time, you guys, I'm Cullum Costello. Now hit that subscribe button, tap that thumbs up, and go out and get money.